Hello and welcome to Politics Today on Channels Television. I'm Sheung Okinbaloye. Thank you for joining us. It has been several months of controversy over whether or not INEC will register the All Progressives Congress, the APC, where the Electoral Commission did come all nerves that have been anticipating the union of the ACN, CPC and ANPP. Also, a section of ABGA is also not left out. There have been several reactions on this matter, though, as a new party boasts of rooting out the ruling PDP from relevance in the coming 2015 general elections. How far they can go with that ambition, I guess, we will all wait to find out. But in all of the talks about the registration of the All Progressives Congress, the African People's Congress, a group awaiting INEC's nod on registration as a political party, are not happy, but they share the same acronym with the major party. They are in court over the acronym issue, and they say they will see till the end on this matter. I have with me, joining us from our Abuja studio, the interim national secretary of the African People's Congress, Barrister Kingsley Inadi. Thank you for joining us. And let me start by asking you, Barrister Inadi, that now that the INEC has registered the APC, the All Progressives Congress, what are you going to do? Is it not a cry over spilled milk now for your group? Okay, well, as we try to establish contact with the Secretary, the National Secretary of the African People's Congress, let me introduce you to the guest I have with me in the studio. Is a public affairs analyst and also a legal practitioner. Well, first a legal practitioner and a public affairs analyst. He will be giving us a sense of what this whole issue is all about as we take a look at so many issues on the program today. ABGA is on our plates today, and the suspension of Governor Rochas Okorocha in Imo State is part of the issues we are going to be discussing. Thank you for joining us, Barrister Wahab Shittu.
It's my pleasure to be here, Chiu. Thank you.
Now, with all of these things that is happening, you've been following these issues, and with what we have now, the African People's Congress are saying they're not happy with what INEC has done. Do you think there is anything wrong in what INEC has done?
Well, I think statutorily INEC has acted in compliance with its mandate, the law setting it up. And part of the mandate of INEC is to register political parties on the strength of the viability of applications filed before it. I'm aware that there is a pending suit by the African People's Congress against the registration of the All People's Congress. But you see, as we stand today, there's no injunction, ex parte or otherwise, against INEC from carrying out its statutory duty. We should not forget that INEC is a statutory, body created by law with mandate, to carry out specific functions, which also include the registration of political parties. And this is what INEC has done, except there's a clear-cut order, ordering INEC to do otherwise. What INEC has done in the present circumstance is in conformity with the law, and it has not breached.
Don't you think that it's just reasonable for INEC to have waited just a bit since this case is in court and it's an issue about acronym? Don't you think probably INEC should have just been patient a bit, or even advise the All Progressives Congress to look at another acronym?
You must understand that INEC is in the public domain, and now INEC is faced with a lot of pressures, apart from the fact that INEC has a statutory duty to perform. Except there's a clear-cut order, requiring INEC to perform otherwise. It will be seen as prejudicial for INEC to wait. Wait for what? Is there a court order and requesting INEC to wait?
But well, INEC is the umpire. It's supposed to be seen as a body that mediates or that stands in between all of these political parties and all organizations. But the fact remains that when one is not happy and there is an ongoing controversy over the acronym, about 3 or so groups are in contention over the acronym. Don't you think that they probably would have saved the day by saying, okay, All Progressive Congress, just go for another acronym so that we won't have much trouble?
I think we have to situate all of this against the background of what was existed before, or what was playing out before this took place. You recall that INEC has been under tremendous pressure. There has been allegations and counter-allegations that PDP is trying to influence the registration procedure, and the APC on the other hand, the African People's, All Progressive Congress is also alleged that there's a subtle attempt by INEC to take sides in this matter. So against all of this, and you can also, appreciate the fact that it is not too late if at the end of the day African People's Congress succeeds in court. The process is reversible. It can be reversed.
You mean that that the All Progressive Congress, that the acronym might be taking other name?
Yes. Even if there's any clear order by the court against the registration or against the acronym, of course, INEC is bound to comply. As it is now, it will be premature, or rather prejudicial, for INEC to go ahead and wait when there is pressure, sustained pressure being mounted upon it by the All African, Congress, All African People's Congress for registration. You recall that they submitted, application for registration, and after the application was submitted, they were requested to make available certain documents, and they complied. So, on what basis will INEC refuse to register APC? If INEC will be able to now escape allegations of, bias. So, I think what INEC has done is in line with quality legal advice. Except there is an injunction against INEC from proceeding to act on the basis of a statutory mandate, then there's no reason why INEC will not act.
So, in your opinion, with all of the situation, the controversy that trade that particular situation about the acronym and the way INEC has comported itself, do you think
I think INEC has behaved in line with the norms of the liberal democratic standard. What INEC has done is in line with the statutory mandate. INEC has pending before it an application by the All Progressive Congress, All Progressive People's Congress, and then satisfying all the basic criteria for registration, including, the documentation and all that complete. So why would INEC refuse to register? Because there's a pending suit.
Okay. I would like to take you back on the fact remains that, with all of these things that INEC has approved of the three parties now, because there's still the understanding of the APGA joining in the merger is still very, very cloudy. We seem not to be getting the fact that are there 3 or 4 parties, because really the process should be all the constituent units that are planning to come together for that union to hold their different conventions, agree that they want to go into merger, and at the end of the day they will come together. But APGA seems not to have held any convention in these. Of course, we know Governor Rochas Okorocha of Imo State is in favor of this. Do you think APGA, where do you think they stand in all of this matter?
Well, I think that the best way to appreciate what is playing out is to admit that as we stand today, APGA is factionalized. If APGA can boast of 2 governors, Peter Obi and Okorocha, and one of them is in favor of the merger, the other is also not in favor. That shows clearly to you there is factionalization within APGA. And the mainstream of APGA body powers is not willing to go into this merger. But the interest represented by Rochas Okorocha clearly is in favor of the merger. And so, and it is, and all along, this is the interest group that has, held itself out as being in favor of the merger. And I also recall that Peter Obi, severally, the governor of Imo State, has denied, of Anambra State, has denied his involvement.
So where do you think Governor Okorocha stands now?
Well, effectively, he's a member of APC now.
Even with the fact that APGA, where is it coming from? That should be a question.
It's coming from a faction of APGA.
Okay.
But
does the law recognize factionalization?
Well, the law recognizes in the alignment of interest. You understand me? What has taken place in APGA is not something new. In the history of political process in Nigeria, you find the issues of fractionalization cropping up.
Okay.